Test 1, 2. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Miro.
Loud and clear. Franco?
Hello. How's it going?
Loud and clear.
Hey, good. Franco, is it Franco or Francho or any other name before we're doxing here?
Yeah, so it's Francho, but I used to go as DJ Dad. Just until yesterday, I changed my name
Okay.
to something I identify more with. So here we are.
Okay. So we can go ahead with Francho, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Francho, cool. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for joining. We'll just kind of warm up here a couple minutes until people roll in and then get the show started. But yeah, as we wait for people to trickle in, how are things going on your end today?
Yeah, absolutely. All good over here. Just riding this absolute storm that's happening in Web3, to say the least. But yeah, heart goes out there to all the people in pain right now. But as of me personally, I went out, touched some grass or sand, went out for a little surf, and yeah, just ready to keep grinding and expecting a full reset. So here we are.
Yeah, no, it's I appreciate you saying that. Likewise, our kind of best wishes go out to everyone. Obviously, we know everyone knows someone who's been affected or has either been affected themselves, right? But the fact that you say, you're starting off on this positive note of touching grass, resetting, is super key, right? We're also tunnel visioned in this space that it's important when things are as turbulent as they are now. It's key to kind of take a breath, right? And plan ahead. But I see that people are rolling in. Maybe we can kind of lightly get started, and as people join in, we can get into some deeper topics. So yes, welcome everyone to our Twitter Space show called Investing with Frens. This is a series that Unique Venture Clubs runs with a series of hosts across the Web3 space, or guests rather. We're the hosts. And we like to cover different investment topics. Today we actually have some super special guests from the Woof community. They're one of the, I will say, with confidence, one of the strongest communities out there in Solana. And today they'll talk to us about how to create and grow a Web3 community, in particularly around a meme coin and NFT collection. And then also, we'll be freestyling a little bit, addressing the elephant in the room as it pertains to current market conditions and their thoughts on that. Just as an introduction on our end, we have myself, Travis, and Marco, who are all a part of the Unique Venture Club's marketing team. And on the line, we have Francho, and I see a couple more listeners tuning in from Woof community. So just as an intro comment, if anyone from the public wishes to speak on anything or contribute to the conversation, please feel free to request to talk, and we'll add you in here. Francho, once again, thanks for joining us. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having us on board. Very excited to have the spaces to talk all things Woof, all things about you guys who are absolute builders over there. I've been doing some research on you guys, and what you guys are building sounds really cool for decentralization and communities who thrive to achieve that. And yeah, very, very excited, and thank you for having us on.
Absolutely. And Trav, Marco, how are you guys doing on your end? You alive and well over there?
Hey, good morning, everyone. Yes, hanging in there today. Oh my goodness, what a morning to wake up to, though. I couldn't quite believe it looking at my phone and the numbers. And definitely a wild ride that we're on. But, times like this, it's pretty amazing that we can all get together and kind of have that solidarity and lean on each other and support each other and really focus on what's important in the environment here right now. And that's community and community building. So, real pleasure to be here, Francho. It's a pleasure to meet you, my friend. And I'm excited to get started.
Likewise, likewise.
Awesome. Marco, what's up, my man? You good?
Yeah, all good, all good. Just watching the blood on the streets. But yeah, I mean, we can survive definitely.
Absolutely, it's pretty gory out there. But actually, I think this, interestingly enough, uh, I'm really excited to have Woof joining our call today. And the reason for that is actually uh, a Twitter post that your community posted around 5 hours ago. I'm looking at it in front of me, and maybe either Travis or Marco can ping it or post it on this Twitter space as a reminder for everyone. And I'll quote it just so we're fully clear. They said, quote, "This is where the Solana community needs to join forces. If you are an artist, designer, or developer looking for exposure, hit us up. We will continue to make connections with people who are here to build. DMs are open, woof, woof." End quote. So, Francho, comments on the current situation and your views on it, and the way your community is looking to approach it based on this tweet, and just generally um, your ideas on that.
Yeah, so basically, the whole idea behind this tweet is that ultimately we understand that Wolf has a platform, Wolf has a voice. We are an OG dog coin community in the Solana ecosystem, and we want to support everyone who is still here, who is still building something, and who is bullish on Wolf long term, or bullish on Solana long term. And so we are brainstorming ideas into assembling teams of very talented people in the Solana space that could use our platform to put them front and center, and hopefully, help everyone out, right? Use our platform to help out artists and developers, and people who are just overall building in this space.
Awesome. And just if I haven't complimented this community enough, just a bit of like inside background information. Um, Earlier today, when something like this happens in the market, you never know how people are affected, right? And so, frankly, we haven't heard of Wolf. Well, we connected a couple of days ago, but I reached out to them today and said, "Hey guys, are you good to go still?" Just not being aware of what the sentiment is, especially on a day like today. And just to compliment by saying, they were totally down for it, like super enthusiastic to jump on this call and talk about community and building and the longer term vision. So really appreciate you for that.
Yeah, it's not a problem at all. And just another point that I do want to make: it's really easy to be bullish when we are in a bull run, right? When it's a bull market and everybody is euphoric. But when you show up for your community in times like today, that's when it really counts. So it's something that we strongly believe at our community.
Absolutely. And actually, while we're at that, you mentioned um, in times like this, opening your, let's say, arms or doors to the wider community or wider people in the ecosystem, to help support them through your platform and community. Can you tell us, for those listeners here who are maybe hearing about Woof for the first time or haven't actually dug deeper into what it is that you guys are doing. Can you tell us a bit about Woof at a high level and all of the interesting things that you have going on?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so there's a lot because Woof today is a full blown ecosystem, but it was firstly founded with the vision to create a decentralized community. We had all of our tokens evenly distributed throughout, and the airdrop happened back in May 2021. All the all the tokens are in circulation right now, and shortly after, we created a DAO where you could buy one of our NFTs and join our decentralized autonomous organization. Now, Woof right now is, obviously we're treading with what the market is doing. Sentiment is low, but overall, our community knows the potential that this coin has. Currently, we are working on different uh, revenue streams to benefit our DAO to ultimately keep on building. We're also working on our second collection of NFTs coming soon. We'll be adding new utility to it. So very exciting stuff on that regard going forward. Our community has always been very active with active participation in games and doing a lot of giveaways and keeping the community engaged and excited even at these times. So there's so much that we can talk about, and yeah, excited to go into the nitty gritty there.
Yeah, absolutely. And to maybe even take a further step back, how it all got started on your end. So what's the I mean, of course, we're aware that there are other meme coins, and and NFTs as well, and we'll get into how you differ from others, right? Like your Doges, like your Shiba Inus, etc. But before we get into that, why the dog? Why Woof? And just the earlier moves that you made regarding that.
Yeah, so at the beginning, I wasn't there, to be honest. I was actually onboarded just recently as part of the core team, but I've been around in the Wolf community since November last year. But as far as I understand, the Wolf community started as a with the vision of creating a decentralized community, and the tokenomics were created, and then the tokens were airdropped evenly distributed by a lot of our at the time community members. And so Wolf started with the vision of representing all dogs, and we really like to stick with that mantra, all dogs wolf. So basically we don't want to identify with one breed particularly. We want to embrace all dogs and people from all walks of life, and it's something that we feel very strongly about.
Yeah, super interesting. And then if you can maybe make it as clear to us as possible. Okay, beyond the fact that you have a strong community, and the fact that you have these coins and NFTs. Um, Under the trunk, right? What are all of the things that you're developing? Because we've checked you out. We know that you're
Mm-hmm.
developing a couple of different verticals and platforms, so to speak. But some of
Mm-hmm.
our listeners might be hearing for the first time. So, if you can kind of outline that to us as clearly as possible for us to get the best picture of Woof.
So basically, at the beginning, we've already created several products that people can jump in and use. Like, for example, we currently have a swap that is powered by Jupe.ag. We've created DEX. We've created a Woof marketplace. We also have our dynamic NFT creator also. So we've developed all these products that have been viewed as a entry point for people that are new to Solana, for people that are new to this space, that they can use these products and learn how to use a DEX, learn how to use a swap, learn how to trade NFTs and sell NFTs as well. We're also building other products in the background that I can't disclose right now, but we're very excited about that because we just want to keep bringing value to our community and overall value to the Solana ecosystem as well. So yeah, we've created those products so far. We are currently improving them as we speak too, and yeah, a lot more being built in the background as well.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I think generally there is a stigma around these so-called meme communities where um, you have a bunch of different projects out there which aren't necessarily building anything beyond like an initial NFT collection, right? Or coin for that matter. Um, and then the fact that you have for one developed several things up until now and have a further roadmap of goals to achieve, uh, I would say is, I mean, not only making you a serious project, right, but breaking through that stigma of uh, let's say all meme projects are have no value, right? We've heard that before, so that's really great to hear. The fact that you're taking something fun and adding a fairly serious uh, angle to it.
Yeah, definitely. And we don't want to be only a hype project, right? We want to offer products to our community that they could use. Obviously, investing in meme coins and dog coins can be a little bit more risky than other assets per se, but it is also a very fun way to you know get your feet wet and learn about Web3, learn about crypto. Me, for example, before I joined the Woof community, I only held a little bit of Bitcoin and a little bit of ETH on a Coinbase exchange. I didn't even have a freaking wallet. And so when I joined Woof last year, it opened the doors completely for me, and I learned everything that I know today about this space. I know about how to create a community, how to manage discords, how to market certain projects. I learned everything, how to trade crypto, decentralized wallets, you name it, right? And I owe that a lot to this community that has opened the doors to me. And it's been a really fun ride with many ups and downs for sure.
Mm. Absolutely. And actually, obviously, the topic of discussion today, creating a Web3 community. Community, as we all know, is one of the key elements, right, in any Web3 project, I would say, and not only community, but actually having people buy into something, right? So, I mean, we can maybe shift the conversation, obviously referencing Woof, but even beyond, like your general thoughts around these topics. So maybe we can begin by maybe hearing a bit about how do people actually buy into projects? If you have some thoughts on that, and of course with reference to what you guys have going on there, given you're an OG project that has shown serious traction.
Yeah, so I think meme coins and dog coins in general are a friendly entry point for people who are not really aware of crypto. I have met many people in real life that aren't really familiar to crypto. but they do hold some Shiba or some Doge. And right now, as we speak, Doge is ahead of many other networks in terms of market cap. And to me, that speaks volumes. To me, that is an indication of some weird human behavior, right? So with Woof particularly, we have always had the intention to.
I believe Francho, you're muted. Everyone
Oh,
is.
sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I've been
No worries.
rambling.
No worries. Please continue.
Sorry. So I was saying that to me, dog coins and meme coins particularly are a friendly entry point for people who aren't familiar with Web3 or with crypto. And I myself in real life have met people that aren't really too involved, but do hold some Doge and do hold some Shiba. And right now, as we speak, Doge is above many of these other blockchains that are touted to be the next big thing. But at the end of the day, Doge is still, up there, top 10 competitor. So that to me speaks volumes. That to me speaks to a weird human behavior and attraction to dog coins, to community coins. And so with Woof particularly, I believe that we've always had the vision to position ourselves as a top OG Solana project where people can just check us out, join a very lively community, a fun community where you can learn about crypto, you can learn about Web3, and at the same time, potentially make a good investment.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. You previously said how you were holding, let's say, like top tier cryptocurrencies, um, but actually the fun factor of these like meme communities is an entry point. I think beyond it's beyond the fact that it's just fun. You mentioned the fact that you've learned a lot through the Wolf community, just by way of networking. Also, the fact that your community is building these other platforms and tools out um, is, I believe, what distinguishes a community from others, in the sense where if you're learning from your community and if you're given these tools to, let's say, like expand your capabilities, and then maybe, like a subtle shill here, maybe then you join forces with another platform like Unique Venture Clubs, where maybe a part of your community wishes to create an on-chain VC arm, for example.
Mm-hmm.
That that then becomes really powerful, right? You begin by just joining something for fun, and then along the way you learn a whole lot and are exposed to other tools and capabilities, right? So
Yeah, definitely.
you because you mentioned, I mean, I'm let's say I'm not an expert in Doge or Shibu, but my understanding is that these types of communities aren't really developing anything beyond just the coin itself, right?
Yeah, well, at least not in the mainstream or anything, and it's not something that I've heard either. I'm sure they've developed gaming stuff and things to keep their community entertained and happy, but overall your point I think is correct. Me personally, I haven't heard anything, but yeah, the fact that Wolf keeps building different products to, uh, you know, have people dabble into and learn about crypto is a really cool way to get people involved.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, before I jump into some other topics, does anyone have any questions? Maybe Trav, Marco, or anyone from the community or the listeners?
maybe not so much a question here, just an observation. I just think that's a very tactful approach that you guys took, kind of being able to recognize that your project is it's an effective way to bring people into the market, and then to really leverage that concept of promoting education and all of that. I think it's a huge contribution to the community as a whole, and a really good way to keep that engagement going. Now that I'm saying this out loud, kind of one question is coming to mind here. You guys mentioned that your engagement has been pretty steady throughout the tumultuous space that we're in. Or excuse me, what am I trying to say here? What would you like? What would be um, the main component of your communication with your community that really is helping to maintain that engagement?
I think it's Woof has so many diehard fans and diehard followers and people who have just been captivated by the community right off the bat, myself included. And I'm not gonna lie, things do die down a little bit, especially nowadays. But I'm telling you, when things start running, whenever we had our run back in November, man, our Discord was illegible. You can't keep up with all the people being excited, especially when we host games and giveaways. People just get that much more involved and that much more excited. And once you hang around at our doghouse, like we like to call it, people just stick around and come back and create new connections and new friends, and it just becomes catchy, right? Because people like chanting "woof woof." It's one of the most catchy phrases I've ever heard, and it did captivate me for sure. And I could say I am also a diehard fan of Wolf.
I'm actually curious to understand. I believe there's a point in every community, especially in the earlier phases, where there's a fine balance. Well, before I say that, how to get buy-in, right? So, from kind of my observations in this space, there's a fine line between incentivizing people for, let's say, giveaways, right? Like maybe you
Mm-hmm.
have whitelist spots and etc.,
Mm-hmm.
and actually having people join for the purpose of engaging without necessarily, you know, gifting or compensating anyone for their presence, right? What First of all, how would you assess the situation in your community? Do you believe you found that right balance? Are you less incentivizing through giveaways, and more so in the earlier stages? How did you go about achieving um, this enthusiasm?
A lot of it just happened organically in terms of being enthusiastic as people joined the community as an investment first, and seeing the potential that it has and the returns that it gave people. I think in that regard it made people very enthusiastic about the project. We But I'm not going to lie, also whenever we've done giveaways, some people just come and go for that reason alone, and I don't think we're immune to that, or any other project is immune to that. It does attract some eyeballs, it does attract some people, and some people ultimately do stay. But I think ultimately, organically, between us hosting uh, something that we used to do for many months on end called Wolf Wheel Wednesday, where anybody could join, and we would just do a live stream and play games, like duck races and wheel spins, and earning our NFTs and some tokens, all donated by different people within the community. I think really cemented, you know people sticking around and making genuine connections with one another. And yeah, I think there is a fine line between people just coming in for hopefully earning a giveaway, rather than people actually sticking around because they like the community. But I can't speak for anybody else, but our community is really active even during the bear market. So I think that speaks volumes.
Yeah, and actually, as you're speaking, I'm kind of scrolling through the people listening over here, and I see members of other communities that are maybe even trying to reach your, let's say, level of engagement of communities. So um, the next kind of question I would have regarding this, if you can be, as candid and open with us as possible, you mentioned the fact that your community was more, let's say, your Discord was blowing up during the bull run. Can you give us a bit more details around bear market sentiments, how these conditions have affected your community, and specifically, like, if you've seen any particular changes in size and behavior, but then more so, like, what is your approach to all of this when times are tough?
Well, when times are tough, we trying to be very encouraging with the community, and obviously show empathy with a lot of people in pain right now, not only within our community but in the entire space overall. All of our mods and all of our team members, are in our server, trying to spread education, good vibes, and empathy all around. Compared to the bull run that we had, I think it was just a lot of excitement and a lot of people here for it. But now that we are in a bear market, the people who are here, we like to call, maybe they're the diamond hands, or also just diehard fans of Woof and people who believe in this project long term.
Yeah, no, that's great to hear. And the one thing that I think many people are still trying to kind of wrap their heads around is, and maybe you're more qualified to comment on it, is why are memes so important to, specifically to the cryptocurrency industry? So you obviously mentioned memes being fun and an easy entry point to crypto, but why? And I imagine in the philosophy behind this is a lot more complex than just like a one or two sentence answer. But do you have any insights from your perspective that you could share with us?
I think from my perspective is just humans are drawn to it, really, and it's just human nature to be attracted to things that sound fun and look fun and that can potentially make you money, right? And so I think that's just part of human behavior, in my view. And yeah, aside from that, your guess is as good as mine, right? Like, who can explain to me why Doge is, I don't know, right now the eighth largest coin per market cap, compared to these other super blockchains with, like breakthrough technologies. Nobody can explain me why, right? Other than it's just human behavior, and humans are drawn to fun things that can potentially make you money. So, so yeah, that's my view on that.
If I
Absolutely.
can just jump
Yeah.
in here for a sec, sorry, Mirs, to
Yeah.
interrupt.
No worries.
One thing that I've kind of learned through my experience on the blockchain as well is that I feel like meme coin is kind of, yes, there's the whole when moon component of it, potentially making big profits and gains. But then I also think that community has become synonymous with the meme movement. There's a sense of solidarity and brotherhood, of riding the ups and downs together, with fellow investors, really feeling that communal heartache and excitement when things do pump. And I think it's a really interesting thing to really focus on, especially during these times, because we are in such a communal dump and everyone's here together feeling that pain. And what great way to, really help just maintain and support one another than in a strong community where everyone's there with you.
Yeah, that's a solid point there, Travis. A very solid point, especially now. Whoever is still here has been through the ups, has been through the downs, and not only within the Woof community, but the Solana space and the Web3 space overall. Everybody who's still here, you know, can we do have the potential to come together and build something great together as a space, as an ecosystem. So yeah, that's a great point, Travis.
Yeah, and actually coming together is like the whole premise of Web3, right? And decentralization, etc. So when times are obviously tough as well. Uh, Something that I always wonder when it comes to well, actually, in this case, meme communities is I wonder like how many people are here for the meme or for the fun, let's say, right? And how many are here for the investment? And obviously, that's like having a magic wand, right? It's like you can't really come to the conclusion of that, given we just don't have access to that to people's thinkings and motives. However, you both of you make a really good point. This this is how we find out, essentially, right? People who are here, people who are active and contributing. We've seen it as well in our community over the past 2 days. We see people who are enthusiastic. We see people who are skeptical. And I suppose it's times like this where you can draw that line or no, right? Um, yeah. Does actually while we're at it, if anyone in listening here, if anyone has any questions or comments, I see there are a bunch of qualified individuals listening in. Please feel free to request to speak. Um, Coming back on the piece on community and specifically the platforms and channels that you use. Obviously, we're aware of Twitter, Telegram, and Discord being these like key portals of engaging, communicating. Do you guys? I mean, this is like the $1 million question for community building and growth. Do you have any advice that you can share when it comes to leveraging these these platforms and maybe even some other ones that you can share with the community as things that you have seen effective when it comes to um, community engagement? It's a fairly high level question, but I leave it like that in order for you to dive deep.
No, I get it. I get it certainly, and and I'm happy to hear what everybody else has to say about this. But in my view, being welcoming is a huge part of it. Whenever somebody joins your community, you welcome them with open arms. And if anybody has any questions about anything, try to educate them as well. I think those two components are huge for any community. And what I would say would be a really strong point to try and, have people stick around.
Awesome. And a follow up to that, once again, fairly high level question I would pose is what would you say are those like key do's and key don'ts, like the absolute green flag and red flag when it comes to creating these Web3 communities?
Dues, I think I've said them in terms of being welcoming, definitely educating, um, being being friendly is a really good one. Making things fun as well, not too strict or anything. And the don'ts are to grow a community. I've seen a lot of people trying to probably like do paid chilling, which really doesn't make any genuine connections. I think it's a no for us.
Awesome. And something that you mentioned previously, the fact that you have a DAO. Now that we'll get into a little bit of a DAO talk here. Um, can you obviously, we all have different levels of knowledge when it comes to DAOs and and defining DAOs and so on. Can you give us some insight into how, let's say, your DAO is structured, but then also how your DAO functions? And by that I mean, if you're successful in keeping your DAO engaged, how do you go about doing that? Or on the flip side, what challenges do you face when it comes to DAOs and governance relating to that?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So at Woof DAO, we have our governance frameworks created by the one and only DAO manager, Roberta. She's really good at it and has made really good frameworks in terms of bringing up proposals to move Woof forward. That's a really good one, and with that comes all the voting rights and everything under that. We also have a multi-sig wallet for our treasury. Obviously, no funds can be moved around unless there's a vote between all the team members. So that makes it extremely secure as well. And on top of that, we are a legal registered DAO, possibly looking into more crypto friendly legislations.
Okay, cool. And you mentioned the fact that you have a legal entity associated to your DAO or registered as your DAO. If you can comment on it, what is the logic behind this? There might be a couple of listeners here who have or are part of DAOs themselves, and maybe are considering having a legal entity, or maybe aren't familiar with it but wish to explore that or learn about it further. Can you comment on that, like the reasoning behind it? Why Woof decided to go in this direction?
Well, I wasn't present when that came down, but my understanding is to make it official, pretty much, and have legal standing whenever we want to pursue other ventures as a legal entity. Like, for example, if a project wants to pursue ventures that benefit their DAOs, it is a lot easier to do so as a legal entity. Um, that doesn't mean that you can't pursue certain places that are more crypto friendly. For example, Portugal, I've heard is really great for startups and things of that nature. And we are actively pursuing other options to maximize the potential of our future ventures that we are currently working on.
Yeah, no, that makes absolute sense. And actually, as you speak on that, what comes to mind, and if I can tie Unique Venture Clubs into this, without overshilling, but as you say, people enter this crypto space regardless of whether it's for fun or not. At the end of the day, we are talking about finances here. We're talking about assets. We're talking about investments, right? And so, something that Unique Venture Clubs developed and built over here on our end is, in fact, to help support communities like yours, where amongst these communities and groups of people who have joined together, in this case, Woof, there are people who wish to invest further, right? And so we've you can check out our Twitter. We've recently had some major partnership announcements, and plan to expand that further. If there are, and this is just a kind of a comment to both you and listeners over here, if anyone does have a community that wishes to have let's say like a VC or a syndicate as a part of their community, or like an arm of their community looking to invest in different projects or assets, unique venture clubs can help facilitate that, can help set that up, to be fully functioning on chain. So I'm not sure. Is that something that your community is looking into? Is something that you're kind of aware of or exploring? It's good to hear you out on that.
Yeah, definitely. And that's a really good question. And I want to reiterate that one of the most beautiful things about this project that it is a true DAO, right? No proposal can go through without a vote from our community. So any things that we want to pursue needs to go through the DAO in order to go through, right? And yeah, we behind the scenes are definitely open to other options, and setting up things that ultimately are gonna benefit further our project. So yeah, I think I can speak for the whole community that we are extremely open-minded to that.
Awesome. No, it's good to hear. And also just to kind of add another point further to that. Um, we're over here, but just I know there are other people who are looking to really leverage NFTs for what they are beyond, let's say, just a nice little pick, but rather the technology behind it, where NFTs can be used as, let's say, access, NFTs can grant you access to certain, let's say, clubs or communities, right? We are being mindful of the different uh, use cases for NFTs. Something that your community can do as well is um, use use your NFTs to have them gated within our platform, where only members of your community can join the club that you created, etc. Without shilling any further. And then also using NFTs as governance, right, where people holding your NFTs can vote on certain things. So it's really interesting what you're doing, and obviously we're here to support not only you but other communities as well. Let's actually to kind of pivot a little here. I see we have a number of people in the chat, and just want to check in to see if anyone is sleeping over here. If we can do just like a real quick vote by way of memes. So I'd really like to understand whether people here are in it for the money or are in it for the memes and the fun. So maybe if everyone can hit a quick vote right now. If you're in it for the money, send us the 100 meme. And then if you're in it for the actual memes, send us a heart. Let's see what people are saying right now. And no lying. Let's see. I see Travis is both in it. Okay, people are both in it for the money, of course. And
I wasn't sure if that was an option.
Let's take a screenshot. Let's
yeah.
take a screenshot. This one is good.
And there are a few people either sleeping or who have us on mute, or do not wish to expose themselves.
I don't think they're mutually exclusive, sir. I think people are in it for the fun and also in it for
Yeah.
a potential bag. So yeah.
Yeah. No, but that's actually a really good point, right? Because sometimes people try to make it exclusive, right? One or the other, and there's scrutiny on both sides, right? Like you have, I guess, with anything, there can be polarization, right?
Of course, but we're not going to sit here and pretend we as a community don't want to go to the moon. You know what I mean? We're here to go to the moon, having fun at the same time. So ultimately, that's our goal. And ultimately, if we can educate people along the way and welcome them to this amazing space, we're here for it.
Nice. So at what floor price do we sell our Woof? What do you say?
Not financial advice, sir. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Everybody do what you will. Right now, Woof is extremely cheap, but so is everything else. So, yeah, not financial advice, but yeah, we're here for the long run, guys. So you won't see us go anywhere anytime soon.
And do you just, I mean, just out of curiosity at a high level, do you do you come across, I mean, okay, everything that we've talked about is fairly positive, right? Like community and building and so on, right? Even in tough times. Do you come across a share of criticism, or doubters or skeptics? Do you see any of that at all? Like, I think it's important to
Of course,
comment
of
on this.
course. Yeah, I don't think we are immune to FUD or panic or anything in that regard. We've had our share of drama as well as any other project has. Um, but for the most part, nowadays specifically, the people who are still here are the true believers in our project and the true believers in the space overall. So I'd say nowadays you see it a lot less. You try to encourage the people who are down bad, myself included, and a lot of people are really down bad, and our hearts goes out for everybody right now. And people express their emotions one way or another. But we try to navigate it in a way where it's friendly, where it's educating, and try to mitigate FUD is no easy task. I know I can speak for a lot of our community members and our moderators and our team members too. So yeah, it's tricky, but definitely nowadays you see it less because the ones who are still here are the diehard fans.
Yeah, no doubt. And you previously, that's something that just came to mind. You mentioned coming out with a second collection, if I'm not mistaken. What's the NFT collection? What's the, uh, well, I guess not the second collection, but what do you call it? Like the second kind of version or iteration?
The Gen 2, so second
Gen 2, yeah.
generation.
And
Yeah.
what's the logic behind this? Just out of curiosity.
So we we did announce a little while back that we were going to mint our second generation of the NFTs called Woof Pack. Right now, we've reassessed and we are currently game planning when that um, mint is going to be. And on top of that, we are tweaking everything. We are adding more utility to it, which comes into play with the other products that we're building behind the scenes as well. We're extremely excited about it. Um, and to answer your question, what's the whole point? Is offer clean art that will give Wolf a different, I want to say, branding perspective, right? Because right now, our main brandings is our really cool pixel art, as you can see in the spaces here. We have our little boofers, and back in the day, pixel art was really popular in Solana. And I think it is an OG Solana type of art. But now we want to come with something fresh, with something a little bit more relevant, and we'll offer a different angle in terms of our branding as well. So, but with that included, will also benefit largely our community, offer new utility as well, and yeah, overall, really cool stuff.
Pretty cool, pretty cool. Um, and we've obviously, I myself, if I can speak for myself, have learned a lot just over this past hour of talking to you about uh, communities and even the fun aspect of memes and so on. So thanks for sharing all that. My final question, and then we'll open it up to anyone else, and please do feel free to join and ask while we're here, is what do you see the future of meme communities to be? Uh, Obviously, we know what's going on now, and I imagine everything evolves and develops further. Um, do you have any thoughts about this? Has your team considered where the future goes, or have you hit a ceiling essentially in community?
Yeah, no, definitely. That's a really good question. Uh, and overall, really appreciate you having us on here. It's been great talking to you. To answer your question, I think meme coins and specifically dog coins are here to stay overall. And why do I say that is to the same point that I said it before. It's a really tribal thing. I think humans are attracted to fun things that can potentially make them money, and then they're also attracted to dogs. It's their favorite animal. So I think overall these assets are risky assets, no doubt about it. But when the market goes up, we go up 100x. When the market goes down, we go down with it as well. So we're not immune to it, but overall, and I think I can speak for the rest of the teams. Woof is here to stay. We're here to build long term. Our vision here is long term. We want to remain one of the OG projects of this blockchain. We're open to anything really, because what I'm personally expecting is a complete reset. And from there, we build, we carry forward, we bring our community with us, and yeah, we try to navigate whatever our DAO wants to do.
Interesting. So you said a key thing. You said dogs are a tribal thing, and from my understanding and knowledge of tribes come together. So, are you telling me that Woof is open and willing to collaborate and partner with other dog communities? Is that something that you've already done, or would you
Or
consider
duck
that?
communities. We have ducks in the audience as well.
Or dogs. But
Listen,
ducks. We can do ducks as well. Why not?
listen. I'll tell you something really simple. All dogs woof. Okay. So we want to represent all dogs. So to answer your questions, yes, we are open to collaborating with other dog projects. We want to help other dog projects. Heck, we want to help anybody who is here to build. Because, like I said before, anyone who is still here on a day like today deserves attention, deserves exposure, and we're here for it. We want to support this ecosystem, push it forward, and overall, you know, open minded to anything.
Awesome. No, I had to hit you with a bit of a bit of a curveball for the very end, but
That's a
on
good
that,
one. That's a good one. All dogs wolf.
all dogs woof, all animals
Uh, I
make their
don't
own
see
sound.
cats. I don't see cats in our audience, so only dogs and few quacks.
We like kitty cats too. They entertain us.
Just
But you scare them.
don't attack them too hard. Yeah. Actually, on that note, I'll zip my mouth. Marco, did we have any requests to speak or ask questions? Anything that came
Hey
through?
guys, if you want to jump in, just request and we will let you in.
Just want to comment on what a great way to start tapering this off with the a focus on solidarity and yeah, just kind of get that hype train going again here. We're all in it. Let's keep
We're
building.
all
Let's
in it.
keep pushing. Let's be here for one another and dig ourselves out of this hole.
We're here and we're gonna come out on top, guys.
But also, the people who are in it are most deserving as well, right? The fact that you're these people are like truly enthusiastic and believe, like, to whatever degree and level, believe in the technology or the community or whatever other factors that come into play is it's really showing, right?
Yeah, I think that's an important point as well, is that while bear markets are painful, there's a lot of benefits that come with it. Definitely that cleansing aspect, where it weeds out a lot of the noise that you experience on a daily basis, particularly during a bull market. But then also it really exemplifies and puts some shine on those people who are really there for the right reasons. You need more than just when moon in times like this where that just seems so far away. So great point to bring up here.
Awesome.
Sounds good. So so where can we find you? That's like the final thing. We don't want people to hear about you but not be able to find. Obviously, you have your Twitter handle here, but what are these best points of contact and how to get started with Woof?
So you can go to our Twitter profile, hit the link tree, and you'll see there a whole bunch of links that can connect you to an exchange where you can buy Woof, can connect you to where you can buy one of our NFTs and join our DAO. You can also visit our website, woofsolana.io, and check us out over there. But we are happy to talk to anybody. Our DMs are open. We want to support all builders in this space and open for any type of collaborations because we know whoever's still here is here in good faith and wants to carry this ecosystem forward. And we're all about it.
Sounds good. On that note, Francho, thanks for joining us, sharing the knowledge, the wisdom. For those people who maybe tuned in late and are feeling a bit of the FOMO, we are going to post the recording of this Twitter Space call on our official YouTube account, and we'll share to our community on Discord. We'll also share with our friends the link to share with the Woof community as well. So don't worry, there will be a recording coming out very soon of this. On that note, thank you everyone for tuning in. We do these Investing with Friends series every week, every Wednesday at this time, and looking forward to seeing you all next week. Take care, guys.
Great chatting with you. Thank you.
Care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks so much, everyone.
Thanks.
Great chat.
Bye, guys.